a regular walk to visit the gravesite of her sons. JAWAHIR SEDAQAT is among the thousands of grieving Hazara mothers in Afghanistan who follow this routine. Her sons were killed in an attack on the Shia community in November.
My youngest son answered my call from the hospital. He said his brother was injured and asked me to go to the hospital as soon as I can. When I arrived, the doctors were around him and he was dying. I left him and went to find my eldest son, but he was dead.
Most of the people buried at this cemetery in the central city of Bamiyan are Hazaras. Their leaders say since the 1990s, they're the most persecuted ethnic group in Afghanistan. The UN's Human Rights Commission estimates more than 1,000 Hazaras have been killed or injured in incidents of targeted attacks, beheadings and kidnapping. Young Hazara men, many of whom have been wounded in the attacks, say they're forming their own militia. They say thousands of them are now united to fight for their own protection. ISIL has claimed responsibility for recent attacks, but many here accuse the Taliban of targeting Hazaras. The Taliban has told Al Jazeera its fighters do not target ethnic minorities.
We believe the only way for Hazara people to choose is to stand. As long as they do not stand, they are always oppressed. When we stand, at least our conscience is clear in front of our people.
In Maidan Wardak province, members of the Resistance for Justice Movement militia say their commander is Abdul Ghani Alipur. The militia leader, who's been accused of human rights abuse, was released on bail in 2018 after his arrest caused violent demonstrations. Hazara fighters say they have to pick up weapons because the government has repeatedly failed them.
Because unfortunately our expectation from the government to defend us was not fulfilled, and we had to take the gun and stand in defense in order to survive. Otherwise we pay taxes. There is a government and the budget is spent. They must defend us, but we have not been defended for many years.
In the last decade, thousands of Hazara men have also taken part in the fighting in Syria. The fierce battles have provided trained fighters for the minority community. Some Hazara leaders told Al Jazeera the Shia fighters were driven more by economic opportunity than religious ideology. That's likely not going to change until there is security and jobs in Afghanistan. And the complicated war haunts Hazara civilians who continue to pay the ultimate price. Osama bin Javaid, Al Jazeera.